Hey, it's Tom. Today we're going to talk about iOS in-app subscriptions. So if you have ever implemented in-app purchase or in-app subscriptions within the iOS app using either Objective-C or Swift, it doesn't really matter. You know, it's really painful process. But luckily, there is a tool that simplifies it a lot and takes a lot of logic from you and enables you to focus on really what's important for your app, so the functionality you are trying to deliver to your users. So to not talk about those details anymore, I will reveal that today's video is actually sponsored by Adapty.io, which is a framework, a library, a tool actually, which enables you to make implementation of in-app subscriptions way easier than in the past, and it's available for iOS and Android, but today we will focus only on iOS and we will write the simple app in Swift, so you will understand how much easier it is compared to the normal subscription implementation done through the tutorials provided by Apple, which are not really easy to understand and not really easy to implement. There's a lot of logic behind the scenes that has to be kept in mind, and thanks to Adapty, you don't have to actually do it because they handle a lot of the logic and take the responsibility from you. Okay, so to not make it any longer the introduction, let's jump to the code and I will explain you all the details later. Okay, so let's start with maybe the app. So I just created an app in the App Store. It's called Adapty App Demo. It's just a simple app. There is actually no bundle. There's actually no app uploaded. There is just created a new app, and this section is actually important for us, subscriptions. So I created a group of subscriptions. It's called Premium Account. So you can imagine an app which enables some freemium model. So there are some features which are available for free, and there are some features available for users who actually pay a subscription every month or week or every year. So I created this group, and as you see, there are a couple of subscriptions. There is a premium user monthly, yearly, and premium user for 6 months. It will make sense a little bit later. So there is a super monthly, but we will not look at it today, probably. We'll see how long this video will be. Okay, so I created those subscriptions. The important thing about the creating the app is also that you can also create in-app purchases, but it's not important at this moment. Important thing to remember is that you will have to set the production server URL and sandbox server URL for Adapty. I will show you where you can find it on your Adapty account. So Adapty can contact the Apple and take the action for you actually to make purchases and so on. Okay, so that's everything from the Apple side and App Store Connect. We can go back to the Adapty. So for sure, you have to create an account, and then you will log into your account, and you will see a couple sections. For us today, the most important one is the products and paywalls. So in the case of products, as you see, you just have to create products which already exist in the App Store. So as you see, I added all the same products that I set in the App Store here. So there's monthly access, access for 6 months, and access for 1 year. That's it. There's nothing fancy here. You can add the same products also for the Google Play. And then you also set the actual period of this subscription. Okay, let's go to the paywalls, because that's also really important. So in our case, I created a couple paywalls. We can create another one, but let's start with what I have created. So when you create a paywall, oh, sorry, I have to click edit paywall. That's what's interesting for us. You create just a paywall name. In our case, it's paywall 1 or 6, which means it's a paywall which will allow user to buy monthly subscription or subscription for 6 months. The good thing is that you can actually modify it without re-uploading the app to the App Store. So if we will play with this paywall using our app, I will show it to you in a moment, then we will be able to modify everything through the Adapty CMS, let's call it, your dashboard in Adapty. And user, whenever they will open the app, they will see different options. So you can play with those options. You can even play with A/B tests. So you will be able to verify what's converting a little bit better. Okay, so I created this paywall. I created a paywall ID, which is com.tombaranowicz.paywall1. It was the first one. You can create a paywall screenshot, but it's not really needed, at least here. And then you can create products. You can add products which were defined previously. So, for example, we can remove the annual product subscription, but yeah, we can add it later on, and it's the same thing. Yeah. Let's not go to the more details. There is remote config and so on, but I just want to show you the basic idea, how it's working and how simple it is to implement. Okay, so finally, let's switch to the Xcode, the part that you probably are interested the most. So it's the basic one view app written in Swift, in UIKit. It's not in Swift UI, so I believe it should be easier for you to understand the flow and the logic. So there's an app delegate, and in this delegate function did finish launching, we have to activate the Adapty. We activate it with the key which can be found in our Adapty dashboard. It's in your private settings, so you can just copy it and put it here. Adapty has some tutorials, so you can just simply go step by step, and you can copy your public key to your app from there. There's nothing what has changed here anymore. And then we have just view controller. It will be one view controller, so it will be easier for you to see it. And yeah, let's make it as simple as possible. It's a simple view controller which contains just, as you see, just a UI table view with really simple UI table view cells, which contains title and subtitle. So we can just focus on the logic, not on the UI at all. Okay, go back to the to our app. So the first thing which we want to do in Vue load is to fetch paywall. We can jump to the definition, and the fetch paywall is a method which allows us to fetch specific paywall. We can actually download. We can check all available paywalls from Adapty, but in our case, we just want to use a specific one that we can modify later on. So we call adapty.getPaywall, and we provide the ID of the paywall, which is set here. It's the same ID. And then we can we have the completion handler, which returns us the paywall. It actually returns us the Adapty paywall, and we have to get we have to call the get method. So we get the paywall, and let's comment out the fetch paywall products yet, and let's run the app and yeah, and see what's really returned. Okay, so that's it. This is this log. So we fetched the paywall. It was returned. There is a name of the paywall, A/B test name, some IDs, revision free, because I was changing that in the past couple times, and there are vendor products IDs. So there are products which are within this paywall. So as you see, there are 3 products: monthly, half yearly, and yearly. And yeah, so we already get the paywall. Now, when we get the paywall, we are really interested in what are the products, because we want to show them to the user. So let's uncomment this fetch paywall products method. And it's here. So at first we check if we have the paywall, because right here we assign paywall to the local variable. It's Adapty paywall. And then we call it. If the paywall is nil, then we will just return. The method will not go any longer. Then to get the products of the paywall, we call the Adapty get paywall products, and we provide the paywall as a parameter. Then there is a completion handler which return result. Result is an array of the products of Adapty products. So we get those products and we assign it to a local variable. The local variable is just an array of Adapty paywall product. This is the object we get. And then we can actually update products list. It's just a reload data on the products table view. Yeah, I was previously adding the refresh control to just add to pull to refresh, but let's not make this code any messier than it should be. So when we will restart the app, then we should get both the paywall and all the products which are in this paywall. So we got the paywall. So same as in previous case, there is a paywall and there are products which are returned here. There is an array of the products which will be available to the user, and you actually see them on the iPhone and how they are presented. That's also important, I believe. Okay, so this is the UI table view data source delegate, and as you see, we show as many rows as there are products. If no products defined, then we show 0. It's a simple, as I mentioned, UI table view cell with subtitle. Then we get the product for the index of the cell we want to present, and in the text area we present localized title, and as you see, it's a premium user 6 months, premium user yearly, and then we show in the subtitle localized price. And as you see, those prices are actually in Polish zloty, because I live in Poland, so my region is set to the Poland, and the local currency is called Polish zloty. So you can, as in a normal case in App Store or in Google Play, you set the basic price, basic tier. It's, for example, I don't know, in the case of premium user, it's something about $3. It's $2.99 probably, or $3.49 US dollars, and then it's just, you know, recalculated to the users living in different places. Yeah, so as you see, we have 3 options, and we actually don't want to have 3 options, because this paywall is called 1 or 6. We want to verify if users will be willing to pay even more than one month. So let's remove it from our paywall. Yeah, and as you see, we can edit paywall. Yeah, there is no more year option. and we can run actually the app once again. And as you will notice in a moment, yeah, we have only two options. There was, in the normal case, you don't have to resubmit the app, release it again. You can just change it from your Adapty dashboard, and all users across the globe will see it immediately whenever they will see the screen, which allows them to actually pay for subscription. Okay, that's it. We will go in a moment to the buying section and how the logic of buying is working. But before of that, you may have noticed before that I commented out check my status. And check my status is a method which is also from Adapty and allows us to easily check if user has access to the tiers we defined. In my case, I defined only one access level, premium, but you can define as many of them as you want. And when you will call Adapty get profile, you will get the profile of current user using the app, and you will get an access to array of all possible tiers. But in our case, to make it simple, we just have one access level called premium. And yeah, you can see here that there are also some details here. I was testing that, and you have a dashboard of all users. Yeah, and we have access levels here. So I have just one access level. It's called premium, and all other users are treated as freemium users, not paying at all. Okay, so we have this dashboard. Let's go back to the app, and here we can check if user has a premium access level. So yeah, let's run the app and see if our user is a premium user or not. So it should be somewhere here, I believe. Okay, give me 1 second. Let's find it. Yeah, it's here. Not a premium user yet. Those logs are a little bit messy, but at some point you will get to how they're working. You can actually change them in app delegate because you can define the log level. I set it explicitly to be verbose because I wanted to understand what's really happening under the hood, because you see that you can notice even how the requests are going to the Adapty and coming from the Adapty, but you can change it to the, for example, debug or only error or only warnings, and you will see way less of them. But for the case of learning how it's working, it's definitely worth having it to the verbose. Okay, so as you see, our user is not a premium user yet, so we can simply not show him all the details. And yeah, but at some point user for sure wants to pay. Like 2% or 3% of users will pay. That's the general statistic. Okay, so in order to allow user to pay, I implemented the did select row method, the delegate of UI table view. And so at first we need to know which product has to be bought. So we get the product from the products list. We added the print so we can know what will be bought. And yeah, we can just clear the logs. Then we deselect the row so it will be just looking nice for a user, but this is what's really important for us. Instead of communicating with the App Store and handling all the responses, you simply call Adapty make purchase and provide the Adapty paywall product object here. And there is a completion handler as usually in the Adapty SDK. And you can verify what's the status of this payment. If it's success, we can see that there is a new access level. And if our profile access level has changed, we show I am premium now. And whenever next time we will open the app, it will be, our status will be a premium. Okay, so let's verify how it's really working. So maybe let's buy a premium account for just 1 month. I selected it, and yeah, as you see, it's called Piaskownica, it's just sandbox. I set explicitly the language to be the Polish, so you will see that it's also handling different currencies. Okay, subscribe. Okay, I have to provide my password, Adapty 2023. Of course, it's a sandbox user, so if you want to check and play with the subscriptions or in-app purchases in sandbox mode, you have to create a sandbox user in your App Store account, and then you can use this user on your phone. Okay, so we have a message. It's ready. Subscription was luckily finalized, and there is an information that the environment is a sandbox. Okay, so let's go back to our logs. What's really happening here? So at first, we should get that did select was called, yeah, did select product. It's this log. Premium account. It's premium account for 1 month. Then we deselect the row and make the purchase, and you have seen all those things on the iPhone screen. And then the important part is here, because it was successful. So we get the log here, new access levels, and the access levels are actually one object. It's a premium. There's an ID, is active, and so on. How it was bought, so the vendor product ID, store, date of activation. It's for us, it's actually not important at this point. We just verify if the user is premium, and yeah, I am premium now. So when user will close the app right now and open it again, you will see that check my status will show I'm a premium user already. Maybe that's not fully correct in English, but however, probably it is. Anyway, so as you see, within those few minutes, we are able to implement the whole logic of buying products without reading the long documentation of Apple and handling all edge cases. So thanks to Adapty, we have a really small addition of the code to add this logic, and we don't have to care about all those details of edge cases, of errors, of communication with the App Store. We just simply call the method and wait what will happen. So, and there are usually two solutions: either it will work or not. In our case, luckily everything was working fine. And yeah, that's it. So as you see, we can then go even to the profiles, and there should be, yeah, there's my user here. I just bought it, so you see that there is revenue proceeds and all those details here, and you have the whole history of those users which are paying. There is even a device, OS, country, and so on. So a lot of details, and thanks to that, you can measure what's working for you in the subscriptions and what's not working. So you can verify also different paywalls, different solutions, different offers, and compare which are converting to a more revenue for you as a developer or just content creator. And all of those things are available thanks to Adapty and their really great SDK, which is right now in version 2.1.0. And yeah, in our case, we just added this. We just added it through the CocoaPods because that's one of the easiest way, I believe. And yeah, it's simply working. So I don't know if I really need to tell you anything more except from that it's just worth testing, playing with that. There is a demo account and there is a freemium model of this app for sure. So yeah, so for sure you can play with that, and yeah, if you will be happy, then you can update. Thanks again for sponsoring this video by Adapty. Anyway, I started using this app, this SDK, playing with that before they contact me. As you see, as you have seen in my profiles, I created the account like 3 months ago. So and I was playing with them because yeah, it's a pretty new tool and looks really good and simple and has a freemium model, which I really love. Okay, that's it. Of course, the link to the GitHub with source code of this project will be in the description of this video. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye!